A very warm and good afternoon to everyone present here.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Manish. Welcome. In a short while, we are going to start the program.
Sure, ma'am.
Off kori dia. Yaat kono connect hoi thibo nalagibo nale echo hoy. People are still joining in, so we just probably have to wait for a few more seconds. Okay. A very good afternoon to all our dear participants. Myself, Sabanish, on behalf of the organizing committee, welcome you all to this online lecture on shaping dreams into reality, some insights into civil services. We are happy to have as our resource person our very dear own Manish Bharali. Welcome, Manish, to the program.
Thank you, ma'am.
And most of you probably know that this is a joint venture. We are working in collaboration, the Department of English with that of Political Science, to organize this online series of program. Today is the second part of it. And for those, I can see many of the participants who are not only present, but also former students. So many of you know Manish very well. For those who do not know, Manish Bharali is an ACS officer posted in the district of Golaghat. He is an alumnus of the Department of English, JB College, and he also served in the Department of English as a faculty for a very brief period before he joined the civil services. And today's program is going to be more of an interactive one rather than a deliberation or a talk program. So I request all the participants to be ready with your queries. And before we start the program proper, we have a few formalities. But even before going into that, let me request you as a joint coordinator to follow certain norms. We request all the participants to mute their microphones and switch off their videos to have a hassle-free transmission. And at the end of the deliberation, whatever queries and questions and suggestions or feedback you have, please post it in the chat box so that we can take the questions and put it across to our resource person. And the feedback forms will be shared at the time of the interaction. Whoever fills up the feedback form will be eligible for an e-certificate. And before we move on to the deliberation by the resource person, we have a welcome address to be delivered by our principal, Captain Jury Bhuya Bosho, ma'am. Ma'am, please deliver your welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
On behalf of JB College Fraternity, welcome you all to the talk program on shaping dreams into reality, some insight into civil services, to be delivered by Manish Bharali. I am extremely happy to extend my warm welcome to today's resource person, Manish Bharali, who was a former student of JB College. The event is being jointly organized by the Department of English and Political Science. And I congratulate both the departments, which I think is the need of the day. I also welcome all the participants from different parts of India who have assembled here for the deliberations. I hope the participants will benefit from today's program. Wishing great success of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am. We now have objective of the program to be delivered by the HOD of the Department of Political Science. So I request Dr. Jolly Borthakur Ma'am to deliver the welcome, to talk about the objective of the program.
The resource person for this event, Monish Bharali, an alumni of JB College and who is an ACS officer. Today's topic is very interesting, which is related with how to shape dreams in reality. The very first step is achieving your big dream is believing that it is possible. Number 2, dreaming is nothing without action. Take daily action to turn your big dream into reality. Then put a time frame on your big dream to keep yourself moving and accountable. The most important step to achieving a big dream is keeping the momentum going. The civil service carries out the work of government and delivers public service. Integrity, objectivity, impartiality are the main values of the civil service. Objectivity is considered one of the most fundamental values in governance because it helps the public authorities to make correct decisions on the merit of evidence. Lastly, civil service must have an attitude, ability to do his job as well as an attitude to do his hard duty, that is, serve the people. All these aspects will be explained by our resource person, Monish Bharali. The event is jointly organized by the Department of English and Department of Political Science, JB College. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jolly Borthakur Ma'am. We now have a very brief introduction of our resource person, Manish Bharali, that will be presented by the HOD of the Department of English, Ms. Pranami Bonia. Pranami, the platform is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It gives me immense pleasure to actually introduce Manish Bharali, who is one of the, I think, most dedicated, hardworking student of the Department of English. And it's also very fortunate for us that we work together, and for many years he was associated with the department. And his dedication was shown with all the works that he had done right from SCS. He had been managing so many things with the department. He was a great support. But he had a dream, that is to join the civil service, and with a lot of dedication, he made that dream into reality. And today he is into the position. He is at present serving as the circle officer at Derga Revenue. And beside that, he is also the executive magistrate he is also the block development officer, as well as he is also looking into the, I think, the children's welfare project officer in Dargaon Circle. I wish Manish Bharali grand success for your career, and I think the deliberation in the seminar will throw interesting light on those dreamers who have a dream of achieving the civil service and turning it into reality. His inputs will help us a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pranami. Well, we now move to the deliberation by our resource person, Manish Bharali. Manish, thank you so much for being with us today and sparing time to be with us out of your busy schedule. And I'm sure many of the participants today are civil service aspirants who really want to, as Pranami pointed out, shape their dreams into reality. And you being very much a part of this, one who has gone through all this, I think you can really motivate them and also give them the tips of how to go along. So welcome, Manish, once again, and the platform is yours. Over to you, Manish.
Thank you. Respected Principal Madam, Jolie Ma'am, Pranami Ma'am, Shaba Ma'am, other esteemed teachers on this lecture series, and dear students and participants. Good afternoon to all, and welcome to this session. It really gives me immense pleasure, and also it's a matter of pride for me to be here in this lecture series organized by Department of English and in collaboration with Department of Political Science, JB College. As I was a student of JB College, and all my teachers are here on this platform who taught me throughout my academic career in JB College. Now, today's topic, shaping dreams into reality, some insights into civil service. The title of today's lecture series, Shaping Dreams into Reality. So what is important here is that two things we have put here. One is dream and other is shaping. Now, pursuing a career in civil service and preparing for yourself for civil service, first of all, both these two things should be your dream. So what I feel is that until and unless it is your dream, it will never make you put that level of effort, that level of preparation, which actually your dream demands. So all I want to say is that you just follow it only if it is your dream. Okay? Now, when it is your dream, you will understand what the dream demands, and you will put things accordingly to the demands of your dream. And the another point here is shaping. Now, once you have nurtured your dream, then the next thing that comes is how to shape it into reality. Now, shaping part is what we call it preparation. And so far as preparation is concerned, there are three main things which you should be careful of. One is patience, number two, preparation, and number three, delivery. Now, patience is very important because if you do not have patience to understand things, to evaluate your ideas, to put your efforts repeatedly on something, this is one very important thing which will ultimately help you to shape your dream into reality. So first of all, you need to have patience. I will go into detail about what patience is, or I will say tell you episodes from my days of preparations for civil service and how my patience for clearing the exams or patience for writing the exams actually helped me out to clear the exams. The second thing is preparation. Preparation will also demand the right kind of preparation. Okay, we'll again talk into detail about preparation. And in shaping your dream into reality, the third thing which is necessary is delivery. Your patience will make you or help you to prepare for your exams in the right manner, and your preparations will ultimately help you in delivery of your efforts. Now, patience. See, if I have to tell something of my days of preparation, it was on my third attempt that I could clear the exams, and here presently I am. So now, if you do not have that required degree of patience to work and to study, to put your efforts, to make your preparations time and again, you will never be able to shape your dreams. So in order to shape your dreams into reality, the first and the foremost thing which you all need to have, or if you do not have, at least you will have to develop it, is a great, or a good degree of patience in you. Then preparations. Now coming for the preparations, your preparation will be reflected in your delivery. মই আশা কৰিছো সকলোৱে বুজি পাইছে কথাখিনি। যদি ধৈৰ্য নাথাকে, প্ৰথম বস্তুটো হৈছে ধৈৰ্য। যদি ধৈৰ্য নাথাকে, তেতিয়া তোমালোকৰ পৰীক্ষাৰ যিখিনি প্ৰস্তুতি, সেই প্ৰস্তুতিখিনিত অকমান তোমালোকৰ সেই অনুপাতে নহব, যিমানটো অনুপাতে সেই প্ৰস্তুতিখিনি তোমালোকৰ হ'ব লাগে। আৰু তোমালোকে কি প্ৰস্তুতি কৰিলা, পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে কি পঢ়িলা, কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰিপাৰেচন কৰিলা, সেইটো তোমালোকৰ পৰীক্ষাৰ ফলতহে সেইটো মানে দেখা পাব। Your preparations will ultimately be reflected in the outcome. Now, what is the outcome? তোমাৰ পৰীক্ষাটোৰ ৰিজাল্টটো। ঠিক আছে, আমি সিভিল সার্ভিস বুলি নলয়, আমি যিকোনো এটা পৰীক্ষা বুলিয়ে লওঁ, আমাৰ বুজিবলৈ সহজ হ'ব। আমাৰ এটা পৰীক্ষা আমি দিলো, পৰীক্ষাটোৰ ফলাফল কি হ'ব পাৰে? ই ভালো হ'ব পাৰে, বেয়াও হ'ব পাৰে। The outcome can be either good or not good, or say তোমাৰ আশা কৰাৰ ধৰণে সি নহ'ব পাৰে। যদি পৰীক্ষা তোমাৰ ভাল হৈছে, if the outcome is say if the outcome is success, then it is well and good, ভাল কথা। And if your outcome is negative, যদি তোমাৰ পৰীক্ষা বেয়া হৈছে, তেতিয়া কিহৰ প্ৰয়োজন? তেতিয়া সেই যে পৰীক্ষাটো কেলে বেয়া হ'ল, তোমাৰ পৰীক্ষা কি কাৰণে বেয়া হ'ল, why the outcome is negative, সেই সময়ছোৱাতে তোমাৰ দৰকাৰ হ'ব analysis. You are required to analyze why you have not been able to deliver the outcome out of the preparations you have made. তুমি পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে পঢ়িলা, everyone is preparing for exams, সবে পৰীক্ষা দিলে, তাৰে ধৰি লৈছো কোনো এজনৰ পৰীক্ষা ভাল নহল বা মোৰে পৰীক্ষা ভাল নহল, এতিয়া মোৰ পৰীক্ষা কেলে বেয়া হ'ল সেই বিষয়টো আমি বিশ্লেষণ কৰাৰ প্ৰয়োজন we need to analyze why we couldn't make through আমি কিয় পৰীক্ষাত পাছ কৰিব নোৱাৰিলো আৰু এই যেটো আমি এনালাইসিস কৰিম এই যেটো বিশ্লেষণ আমি কৰিম আমাৰ পৰীক্ষা কিয় বেয়া হ'ল এই এনালাইসিসটো যেতিয়া আমি কৰিম তেতিয়া হেতু এটা শুদ্ধ আৰু এটা সৎ বিশ্লেষণ হ'ব লাগে the analysis must be the right and honest analysis আৰু এটা কথা মই কৈ থওঁ never try to rationalize your mistakes on your part hey আমাৰ বহুত এনেকুৱা হয় যে আমি গম পাওঁ যে পৰীক্ষাটোত কোনখন কিতাপ পঢ়িব লাগিব এইখন কিতাপত 10টা চেপ্টাৰ আছে 10টা চেপ্টাৰ আমাৰ কিবা কাৰণে আমি 10টা চেপ্টাৰ পঢ়িব নোৱাৰিলো আমি 6টা পঢ়ি গলো 6টা পঢ়ি যোৱাৰ কাৰণে 4টা চেপ্টাৰ আমাৰ পঢ়িবলৈ থাকি গল এতিয়া প্ৰশ্ন কাকতত তোমাৰ সেই 4টা চেপ্টাৰ যিকিটা তুমি নপঢ়িলা তাৰ পৰা যে প্ৰশ্ন নিদিব তাৰটো মানে নাই সেই কাৰণে সেই যেটো মই কলো অনেষ্ট এনালাইসিস আৰু তুমি বা মই আহি একো কৈ লাভ নাই যে মানে সিলেবাসৰ বাহিৰৰ প্ৰশ্ন দিছে বা মই যিকিটা নাজানো সেইকিটাহে আহিল মই সেইকিটা নাজানো মানে কি মই সেইকিটা পঢ়াই নাই I have never prepared those chapters okay from which I was required to answer in the exam and why I didn't prepare because I was busy somewhere mo beleg kiba kaam asil mo pohibo time ne palu এইবিলাক excuse amar nijor karone kintu এইবিলাকে তো আমাক সহায় নকৰে excuses are not going to help us সেই কাৰণে মই ইয়াত অংশগ্ৰহণ কৰা আমাৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী সকলক আৰু অংশগ্ৰহণকাৰী সকলক মই কম যে প্ৰথম কথা হৈছে যেতিয়া এটা পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে প্ৰস্তুতি চলোৱা হয় তেতিয়া সেই প্ৰস্তুতিটো কেনেকুৱা হ'ব লাগে আমি কেনে ধৰণে প্ৰস্তুতি চলাম মই কাইলৈ কিবা এটা পৰীক্ষা দিম বা তোমালোকে দিবা সেই পৰীক্ষাটো কোন লেভেলৰ পৰীক্ষা প্ৰথম কথাটো হৈছে হেতু জানিবলৈ হলে আজিকালি সকলো পৰীক্ষাৰে এখন নিৰ্ধাৰিত সিলেবাস থাকে আৰু সেই সিলেবাসখনত পৰীক্ষা পেপাৰ কিখন হ'ব কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰশ্ন হ'ব মানে অবজেক্টিভ হ'ব নে সাবজেক্টিভ ডেসক্ৰিপটিভ কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰশ্ন হ'ব সেই বিষয়ে উল্লেখ থাকে আৰু ডিস্ট্ৰিবিউশন অফ মাৰ্কস তাত মানে কেনেকে গুটে পেপাৰখন যদি এখন পেপাৰ 100 নম্বৰ তাক কেনেকে ভাগ কৰা হৈছে 20 নম্বৰ কেটা প্ৰশ্ন থাকিব 1 নম্বৰ কেটা প্ৰশ্ন থাকিব 5 নম্বৰ কেটা থাকিব সকলো বিষয়ে সিলেবাসখনত দিয়া থাকে আৰু সিলেবাসখনত কি পঢ়িব লাগিব গুটে বিষয়খিনিও দিয়া থাকে এতিয়া প্ৰথম আমাৰ এটা পৰীক্ষা দিবলৈ যাওঁতে আমাৰ প্ৰথম কাম হ'ব যে আমি প্ৰথম সিলেবাসখন অধ্যয়ন কৰা প্ৰথম আমি কিতাপ অলপ বা নিজৰ চিনাকি বা আমাৰ ওচৰে পাজৰে যদি কোনোবাই পৰীক্ষা ক্লিয়াৰ কৰিছে তেওঁলোকক সুধি আমি প্ৰথম কিতাপ বা নোটস আমি গুটোৱাতকে first what I believe is that we need to study the syllabus first syllabus খনো অধ্যয়ন কৰিবলগীয়া বস্তু অকল কিতাপখন বজাৰৰ পৰা আনিহে পঢ়ি যাম এফালৰ পৰা তেনেকুৱা নহয় প্ৰথম কথাটো হৈছে পৰীক্ষাৰ প্ৰস্তুতিৰ বাবে প্ৰথম যেটো বস্তু দৰকাৰী এটো হৈছে তোমাৰ হাতত সিলেবাসখন লাগিব সিলেবাসখন গোটাই লোৱাৰ পিছত সিলেবাস তোমাৰ পৰীক্ষাৰ এডভাৰটাইজমেন্টৰ লগত থাকে বা তোমাৰ নিৰ্দিষ্ট ওয়েবসাইটৰ পৰা ডাউনলোড কৰিব পাৰি ডাউনলোড কৰি সিলেবাসখন মই যদি কম এখন প্ৰিন্ট কৰি ললে আৰু ভাল প্ৰিন্ট কৰি পেলাই সিলেবাসখন লগত ৰাখিব লাগে আৰু প্ৰথম সিলেবাসখন অধ্যয়ন কৰিব লাগে সিলেবাসখন অধ্যয়ন কৰিবলৈ মই কেলে কৈছো যে সিলেবাসখন যেতিয়া আমি পঢ়ো তাৰ যিবিলাক বিষয় দিয়া থাকে সেই বিষয়বিলাক যেতিয়া আমি দেখিম বা সেই বিষয়বিলাকৰ বিষয়ে যেতিয়া আমি চিন্তা কৰিম তেতিয়া আমি এটা কথা আমি উপলব্ধি কৰিম যে সেই বিষয়গিটা বা সেই নিৰ্দিষ্ট লেসন চ্যাপ্টাৰটো আমি আমাৰ পঢ়াৰ জীৱনত কেতিয়াবা নহয় কেতিয়াবা আমি কৰবাত পঢ়ি আহিছো হয় ক্লাস 9-10 পঢ়ি আহিছো নহয় হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰী বা ডিগ্ৰী পঢ়োতে আমি সেইখিনি পঢ়ি আহিছো এটো কেতিয়াও এনেকুৱা নহয় যে তাত থকা বিষয় এটাও আমি কেতিয়াও কাহিনী পঢ়ু পঢ়া নাই এতিয়া সেই বিষয়টো যদি তুমি আগতে পঢ়ি আহিছা তেতিয়া সেই বিষয়টো মই ক'ত পঢ়িছো আৰু সেই বিষয়টো মই ক'ৰ পৰা পঢ়িছো মোৰ নিৰ্দিষ্ট টেক্সট বুক আছিল বা মই সেই বিষয়টোৰ ওপৰত মই নোটছ বনাইছিলো আমাৰ স্কুলত হওক কলেজত হওক আমাৰ টিচাৰে আমাক নোটছ দিছিলে সেই বিষয়টো প্ৰথম চাব লাগে সিলেবাসখন চোৱাৰ পিছত বিষয়গিটা যিগিটা মই আগতে পঢ়ি আহিছো সেই বিষয়গিটা বেলেগ কৰি লওঁ আৰু যিগিটা বিষয় একেবাৰে পঢ়া নাই এনেকুৱা বিষয় থাকিব যিগিটা বিষয় আমি আগতে পঢ়া নাই ধৰিবা সেই বিষয়গিটা আমি বেলেগ কৰি লওঁ প্ৰথম সিলেবাসখন পঢ়ি সিলেবাসখন আমি কোনটো ভাগ আমি আগতে পঢ়িছো কোনটো ভাগ আগতে নাই পঢ়া এই দুটা ভাগত আমি ভাগ কৰি ল'ব লাগে মোৰ মানে মই যি ধৰণে প্ৰিপাৰেচন কৰিছিলো মোৰ যেটো পঢ়াৰ মানে প্ৰণালী আছিল মই সেই বিষয়ে কৈ আছো তাৰ পিছত যে আমি যিগিটা বিষয় পঢ়িছিলো সেই বিষয়গিটা আমি কোনখন টেক্সট বুকত আছিলে বা কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কিতাপ পঢ়িছিলো বা কেনেকৈ পঢ়িছিলো সেই বিষয়ে অকমান যদি আমি চিন্তা কৰো যে দেখিম আমি সেইগিটা বিষয় আমি আগতে পঢ়ি আহিছো আৰু ক'ৰ পৰা পঢ়িছিলো কেনেকৈ পঢ়িছিলো অকমান চালেই আমাৰ বস্তুগিটা মনলৈ আহিব যে হয় এটো মই হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰীত পঢ়িছিলো হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰীত আমাৰ কলেজত এখন টেক্সট বুক আছিল বা স্কুলত এখন টেক্সট বুক আছিল তাত এই বিষয়টো আছে আৰু মই তাত এই বিষয়টো ভালকে পঢ়া মন কৰে এতিয়া সেই কাৰণে এটা কথা বৰ মানে ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট এটো হৈছে যে আমাৰ যিখিনি টেক্সট বুক স্কুল বা কলেজত আমাক যিখিনি টেক্সট বুক দিয়া হৈছিল সেই টেক্সট বুক খিনি আমাৰ লগত সদায় ৰখা কাৰণ সেই সিলেবাসত থকা সেই বিষয়খিনি আমি সেই টেক্সট বুকতেই পঢ়িছো প্ৰথম হয় কেতিয়াবা লেভেলটো এনেকুৱা হ'ব পাৰে যে আমি হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰী বা ক্লাস 9-10 থাকোতে সেই বিষয়টো ইমান গভীৰভাৱে পঢ়া নাছিলো কিন্তু এই পৰীক্ষাটোৰ পৰ্যায়ত যেটো এইটো বিষয়ত যেটো পৰ্যায়ৰ পৰীক্ষা হ'ব সেই পৰ্যায়ৰ পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে মোৰ তাতকে অলপমান ওপৰৰ কিতাপ মোৰ দৰকাৰ হ'ব কিন্তু আমাৰ যেটো ফাউন্ডেশন এটা বিষয়ৰ যেটো ফাউন্ডেশন হেতু আমাৰ আৰম্ভণি যিখিনি কিতাপত আমি পঢ়ো সেইখিনি কিন্তু তোমাৰ ফাউন্ডেশনটো আমাক লাগিব সেই কাৰণে মই ভাবো যে প্ৰথম তেনেকে সিলেবাসখন আনি প্ৰথম সিলেবাসখন ভাগ কৰি সিলেবাসৰ যিখিনি অংশ আমি বা বিষয় আমি আগতে পঢ়িছো সেইখিনি ভাগ কৰো আৰু যিখিনি আমি নাই পঢ়া সেইখিনি ভাগ কৰো এতিয়া এই যিবিলাক বিষয় থাকে এই বিষয়বিলাকৰ কাৰণে আমাক যিবিলাক নোটস কিতাপ বা গাইড বুক ৰেফাৰেন্স বুক যিবিলাক আমাৰ প্ৰয়োজন হয় আমি যিবিলাক ষ্টাডি মেটেৰিয়েল বুলি কওঁ এই ষ্টাডি মেটেৰিয়েল বিলাক মানে ব্যালেন্স ষ্টাডি মেটেৰিয়েল হ'ব লাগে এনেকুৱা নহয় যে আজি যদি মোক বা কোনোবা এজন বেলেগ ব্যক্তি সোধে যে পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্সৰ কাৰণে কি কিতাপ পঢ়িম হিষ্ট্ৰীৰ কাৰণে মই কি কিতাপ পঢ়িম কিতাপৰ নাম দি দিব পাৰে কিন্তু কিতাপৰ নাম দিয়াটোই মানে পৰ্যাপ্ত নহয় প্ৰথম আমাৰ ষ্টাডি মেটেৰিয়েল খিনি আমি এনেকে সংগ্ৰহ কৰিব লাগে যাতে আমাৰ একেবাৰে যিখিনি বেসিক ইনফৰমেশন সেইখিনি আমি এখন কিতাপত পাওঁ তাৰ পিছত তাৰ ওপৰত আমি অলপমান যদি বহলকে বিষয়টো চাব বিচাৰো সেইখিনি আমি পঢ়িব লাগে আৰু তাৰো যদি ওপৰত আৰু তাতোতকৈ যদি বহলকে আমি বিষয়টো অধ্যয়ন কৰিব বিচাৰো তেতিয়া তাৰ ওপৰৰ পৰ্যায়লৈ আমি যাব লাগে এনে ধৰণে কৰিলে কি হয় আমাৰ বিষয়টো ওপৰত আমাৰ যিটো ধাৰণা বা আমাৰ যিটো জ্ঞান হেতু মানে এটা সিকুৱেন্সত বস্তুটো আগবাঢ়ি যায় এটা নিৰ্দিষ্ট ধাৰাত বস্তুটো আগবাঢ়ি যায় সকলোৱে বুজি পাইছে কি জানি মই আজি এই বিষয়ৰ ওপৰত আলোচনা কৰিবলৈ যাওঁতে মই নিজেই যেতিয়া মই পঢ়াৰ বিষয়ে মই চাইছিলো তেতিয়া মই দেখো যে মোৰ কম্বাইন্ড কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামত মোৰ এপিএসসি এক্সামত মোৰ বিষয় এটা বিষয় আছিল পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স বিষয়টো মই কেনেকৈ পঢ়িছিলো আজি যদি অকমান মই ঘূৰি চাওঁ তেতিয়া মই দেখো যে মই আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলো মোৰ হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰীত মোৰ পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স আছিল আৰু হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰী পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্সৰ যিখন টেক্সট বুক পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স স্টেজ 1 আৰু স্টেজ 2 দুখন কিতাপ আছিল ডক্টৰ দুৰ্গাকান্ত শৰ্মা তেখেতৰ দুখন টেক্সট বুক আমাক দিয়া হৈছিল পঢ়িবৰ কাৰণে আৰু সেই দুখন টেক্সট বুকেৰে মই পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্সৰ কিতাপখন দুটা ভাগত ভাগ কৰা হৈছিল one is political theory and other is Indian constitution political theory law liberty equality justice sovereignty এনেকে nationality আৰম্ভ কৰি এই থিওৰি পাৰ্টটো আছিল আৰু ইণ্ডিয়ান কনস্টিটিউশনৰ পাৰ্ট Indian constitution right from the inception preamble the fundamental rights directive principles of state policy আৰু এনেকে আৰম্ভ কৰি লোকেল সেল্ফ গভৰ্নমেন্ট এনেকে ধৰি বিভিন্ন ইণ্ডিয়ান কনস্টিটিউশনৰ যিখিনি আমাৰ বিষয়বস্তু সেইখিনি আলোচনা কৰিছে My point is that always begin with things which are preliminary for understanding a subject in its right way. I started with my textbooks with higher secondary for political science, and only after when I was sure that the fundamental ideas are clear, the basic ideas concerning the topic that are there in the higher secondary textbook are clear, then only I moved on to another level of textbooks in which I can go deeper into the things. মই কিতাপৰ নামেৰ উল্লেখ কৰি মই বুজিবলৈ সহজ হ'বৰ কাৰণে মই কিতাপৰ নাম উল্লেখ কৰিয়ে মই কৈছো যেতিয়া মোৰ ইণ্ডিয়ান কনস্টিটিউশনৰ পাৰ্ট 2 বা পলিটিক্যাল থিওৰিৰ যিখিনি পাৰ্ট আছিলে মই যেনেকৈ তোমাৰ বিষয় লৈ পেলাই কৈছো nationality law liberty equality justice sovereignty এইখিনি যেতিয়া মই হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰী কিতাপত পঢ়াৰ পিছত মই যেতিয়া দেখিলো যে মোৰ এই টপিক খিনিৰ মানে যিটো বেসিক নলেজ এইখিনি মোৰ হৈ গৈছে এইখিনি মই বুজি পাইছো এইখিনি মই আয়ত্ত কৰিব পাৰিছো তাৰ পিছত মই ইয়াৰ পৰৱৰ্তী পৰ্যায়ত in the next level of preparation in the next stage of preparation I shifted to some other books in which I can go deeper into the topic in which I can make some more study about the topics that are there in the syllabus jene moi higher secondary textbook kotha to kolu in the first instance I talked about my textbooks in higher secondary and in the next stage of preparation I moved to the textbook that we were required to have during our ডিগ্ৰী কোৰ্স BA পঢ়ি থাকোতে পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স মোৰ পাস কোৰ্স আছিল আৰু পাস কোৰ্সত পলিটিক্যাল থিওৰি প্ৰিন্সিপলছ অফ পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স RC আগৰৱাল তেখেতৰ টেক্সট বুক আমাৰ সিলেবাসত আছিল আৰু আমি হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰী টেক্সট বুক পঢ়াৰ পিছত পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্সৰ মই ডিগ্ৰী টেক্সট বুক পঢ়িছিলো যাতে মই হায়াৰ সেকেন্ডাৰী পঢ়ি অহা বিষয়কিটা মই আৰু ভাল ধৰণে ইয়াত পঢ়িব পাৰো মই এই বিষয়টো কিতাপৰ নাম উল্লেখ কৰি এই বিষয়টো এই কাৰণে কলো যে যাতে তোমালোকে ব্যালেন্স স্টাডি মেটেৰিয়েলৰ কথাটো বুজি পোৱা Now if you ask me to give names of a few books I can definitely give you the names of the books but you must put those books into a proper sequence so that you can begin from the basics then you move on to the next level and if required or as per the demands of your preparation if it is required you can go to the next level of preparation which some other books will provide you এতিয়া মই এই বিষয়টো আনিলো এই কাৰণে যেটো ইয়াত আমাৰ অংশগ্ৰহণকাৰী ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলে যাতে এই কথাটো বুজি পায় যেটো ষ্টাডি মেটেৰিয়েল বুলি ক'লে আমি কিতাপ অলপ আমি যোগাৰ কৰাটোই sufficient নহয় study materials is not limited only about collection of books and collection of notes and collections of materials that are available it demands collection of right materials it demands collection of materials in which you can study things from preliminary level to the level the demand level that your syllabus demands so এইখিনিতে আৰু এটা বিষয় মই যেটো অ্যানালাইসিসৰ কথা কৈছিলো প্ৰথমতে মই আউটকাম মানে পেশেন্স প্ৰিপাৰেচন আৰু ডেলিভাৰীত হৈছে যে তুমি যিখিনি বস্তু পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে পঢ়িলা সেইখিনি পৰীক্ষা তুমি লিখিলা এই লিখাৰ ফলত তোমাৰ এদিন পৰীক্ষাৰ ৰিজাল্ট দিলে আৰু ৰিজাল্ট দিয়াৰ দিনাখন আমি দেখিলো যে মোৰ পৰীক্ষা ভাল হ'ল বা বেয়া হ'ল ওকে তেতিয়া মোৰ পৰীক্ষা ভাল হ'ল আৰু মোৰ পৰীক্ষা বেয়া হ'ল কিন্তু কেলে বেয়া হ'ল এই কেলে বেয়া হ'ল বুলি নিজকে প্ৰশ্ন সুধিব লাগিব আৰু সুধি পেলাই মানে আমি হেতু বিশ্লেষণ কৰিব লাগিব we must ourselves why we can make true or what had been there why I couldn't make it even after preparing so much even after studying for long hours okay even after collecting so much of study materials okay why I couldn't clear the exam there comes the point of analysis and the analysis should be an honest analysis during my time what happened is that I appeared in my first attempt okay it was my first attempt and prior to that I had no idea as what to study and how to make preparation how to write my answers then the second attempt in my second attempt I feel I made some improvements and ultimately in the third attempt from my failures I have understood what to prepare how to prepare and what is there which actually is required to clear your exams so more পৰীক্ষাৰ এই তিনিটা মানে মোৰ প্ৰচেষ্টা মই এটো বুজি পোৱা হৈছিল যে কি পঢ়িব লাগে কেনেকে পঢ়িব লাগে আৰু আমি পৰীক্ষাটোৱে আমাৰ পৰা কি বিচাৰে তো এইখিনি these are the things which you'll have to develop all by yourselves এইখিনি নিজৰ এটা পাৰিলে মই ভাবো যে নিজৰ এটা ষ্টাডি গ্ৰুপ কৰিব লাগে দুই চাৰিজনীয়া এটা ষ্টাডি গ্ৰুপ কৰিব লাগে নিজৰ লগৰ বা সিনিয়ৰ জুনিয়ৰ আৰু সেই গ্ৰুপটো অকল পৰীক্ষাৰ বিষয়ক কিতাপ পত্ৰ বা প্ৰিপাৰেচন সংক্ৰান্তীয় এই কথাখিনি যদি আলোচনা এটা হৈ থাকে তেতিয়া সেইটো বহুত আমাক উৎসাহ দিয়ে পৰীক্ষাটো আমাক অৱতীৰ্ণ হ'বৰ বাবে আৰু আমাৰ যিখিনি প্ৰিপাৰেচন আছে সেইখিনি আমাৰ কোন দিশে গৈ আছে কেনেকে হৈ আছে এইখিনি এটা ইভালুৱেশ্যনত নিজকে সহায় কৰে আৰু মই ভাবো যে পৰীক্ষাটো ক্লিয়াৰ কৰা যেনেকে সবৰে এটা সপোন পৰীক্ষাটোত বহাটোৰ এটা বিশেষ গুৰুত্ব আছে sitting in the exams is very important because until and unless you sit and write the exams you will never know what you have prepared. You may have been preparing for long, you may have been studying to a considerable extent, but unless you sit and write and put yourself to test, you will never understand your preparation. So, hey karne, মই ইয়াত অংশগ্ৰহণকাৰী ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক এই কথাটো মই কম যে পৰীক্ষাৰ প্ৰস্তুতি চলাই যাওক যিকোনো পৰীক্ষা তোমালোকে দিব পৰা যিকোনো পৰীক্ষাত বহিব লাগে পৰীক্ষা দিব লাগে আৰু নিজকে জুখি চাব লাগে মই কি পঢ়িলো মই কিমান পঢ়িলো আৰু সেই পঢ়াৰ তুলনাত মই আজি পৰীক্ষাটোত কিমান মই প্ৰদৰ্শন কৰিব পাৰিলো so it is very important to sit in exams in any exam so that you can test yourself your preparation your dedication to something and your hard work your smart work whatever just sit in exams make preparations keep your preparations going on and sit in exams write your answers and test yourself so that tomorrow you can be a better candidate বহুত হয় আজিকালি পৰীক্ষাত আমাৰ দিনতো আছিল বহুত ক্যান্ডিডেট আছিল তাৰ মানে মোৰ পৰীক্ষা যেনিবা ভালেই হৈছে মোতকে ভাল হোৱাও বহুত থাকিব so সেই কাৰণে এটো কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সাম ইয়াত কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সাম দিয়াৰ এটা বৰ মানে আনন্দ আছে যে মই কি পঢ়িলো মই কিমান পঢ়িলো সেইখিনি আৰু পৰীক্ষা দিনাখন মই কিমান নিজকে পৰীক্ষাটোৰ জৰিয়তে নিজকে দিব পাৰিলো মই আমি যদি বেলেগ উদাহৰণে চাওঁ মই যদি দিনে 5 কিলোমিটাৰ দৌৰো ভাল কথা কিন্তু পৰীক্ষাৰ দিনাখন মই কিমান দৌৰিব পাৰিলো সেইটোহে বেছি গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ মই এনে 5 কিলোমিটাৰ দৌৰো কিন্তু পৰীক্ষাৰ দিনাখন যদি মই 4 কিলোমিটাৰ হে দৌৰিব পাৰো তেতিয়া পৰীক্ষাৰ ফলটো আমাৰ কাৰণে তেনেকুৱাই হ'ব সেইকাৰণে কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সাম মই আগতে মই যিমানেই ভাল প্ৰিপাৰেচন নকৰো বা আগৰ পৰীক্ষা মোৰ যিমানেই ভাল হৈছে সেই অনুপাতে মোৰ আজি যেটো পৰীক্ষাত মই বহিছো সেইটো ভাল হ'ব লাগিব সেইকাৰণে মই সকলোৰ পৰা আশা কৰি যে তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ যিখিনি প্ৰিপাৰেচন পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে সেইখিনি চলাই নিয়ক আৰু একদম দৃঢ়তাৰে চলাই নিয়ক মানে if you are preparing for any exam just prepare it with all your dedication with all your efforts আৰু হয় ইয়াত অংশগ্ৰহণকাৰী ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী সকলোৱে কিজনী কিবা এটা মানে কোৰ্সত পঢ়ি আছে, কোনোবাই হয়তো BA পঢ়ি আছে, কোনোবাই MA পঢ়ি আছে, বা নহলো যদি পাছ পঢ়ি ওলাই যোৱা কোনোবা ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী আছে, তেওঁলোকে কিজনী কৰবাত চাকৰি কৰি আছে বা বেলেগ কিবা সেলফ এমপ্লয়মেন্ট কিবা আছে। তাৰ মাজতে যদি আমি কিবা পৰীক্ষা দিব বিচাৰিছো, তাৰ মাজতে আমি পৰীক্ষাৰ প্ৰস্তুতিও চলাই যাব লাগিব আৰু নিজকে পৰীক্ষাত বহিবৰ বাবে, পৰীক্ষাত উত্তীৰ্ণ হ'বৰ বাবে যোগ্য কৰি তুলিব লাগিব। আজি মই বেছি দীঘলীয়া নকৰো, কাৰণ এইটো এটা ইন্টাৰেক্টিভ সেশন। মই মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা ক'বলগীয়া, মোৰ প্ৰিপাৰেচন খিনি কেনেকে কৰিছিলো ক'বলগীয়া যিখিনি মোৰ আছিল, মই ভাবিছো মই সেইখিনি ইতিমধ্যে কৈছো। And I would like to have some queries. যদি কাৰোবাৰ কিবা সুধিবলগীয়া আছে, জানিবলগীয়া আছে। Thank you all for participating.
Well, thank you, Manish. It has been, I'm sure, very, very helpful deliberation, and your presentation has been very systematic. Hence, prove that you are a born teacher. The way you have presented the things, touching right from A to Z, I think as a teaching fraternity, you would have been more beneficial to the students. Anyway, Manish Murali started with patience, preparations, the way that syllabus also has to be prepared and read well. And a very important thing that he mentioned is that we should never rationalize our mistakes. And it's a very, very honest confession, and that we need to be honest with ourselves while going for any kind of examination. And then talking about systematic approach, he talked about how failure can also be taken as a stepping stone to analyze ourselves. And study group, of course, that's very important. And I had seen me, because Manish had worked in the Department of English, and I had seen him in a circle of friends. A few of them were actually working in JB College itself, and I still remember how they would meet and talk about preparations and all that. And of course, to judge our own performance. In the meantime, the session is now open for interaction. We would like to have discussion, more queries, and I'll scroll through the chat box. I'd like to have your queries in the chat box so that our resource person can report to our resource person can respond back. Okay, Ananya Mili, she also happens to be our former student. Good afternoon, sir. So what were your optional papers, and how should we select the optional paper? Manish?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the thing is, in our days, the syllabus was a bit different from what is than the current syllabus. During my days, my optional papers were in the prelims, it was political science, and in mains, it was political science and sociology. And so far as the second part of the query is concerned, how to choose optionally. What I feel while choosing your optional paper, the candidate or say the student must feel that I am comfortable in this subject. It's not, if say I am taking political science, it doesn't mean, or say if 10 of us who have cleared the exam has taken political science, it doesn't mean that you should also opt for political science. Say you are comfortable in geography, you feel you have an interest in geography, then you go for any other subject where you are comfortable with, because since this is a competitive exam, you have a whole list of subjects which you can take up as your optional subjects for the exam. So first, be comfortable with the subject, ensure that you have the right kind of the balanced study materials with you, and just if you also want, you can just check the textbooks that you have and just prepare some notes and see if you can really do in that subject or not. That's all.
Okay, we have some of our students, no present students, Manish, seated with us in the seminar hall. So one of them is Gautami Banik from 4th semester. Her question is, she has got 2 questions. I'll read them one by one. What are the parameters to judge yourself whether you are ready to appear for such an exam or not? How to judge themselves, the parameters to judge.
Judge oneself.
Yeah.
To judge the parameters, whether the person is fit for civil service.
Exactly. That's what I suppose she wants to know. Probably if someone is a bit confused whether to take up or not, or whether he or she is fit or not for such a kind of an exercise. So what will be your suggestion on that account?
There cannot be any fixed parameters to judge oneself, but as the title of today's session speaks more about this, is about, if it is your dream. So if it is your dream, if you really want to be in civil service, if you have aptitude for civil service, if you are aware of your society around, if you feel you should put yourself into the service of the people that you can see around, if you really have that will to address to the problems that the people are having around, and if you really feel that you want to serve a larger section of people, then of course I feel the person is good enough to go for competitive exams.
Okay, I think that should satisfy her. There is one more question from Gautami itself, but I can see some flow of questions. So before taking up her second question, if we have time, we'll come back to it. Let me go to other questions that we have. Okay, I have to scroll through the... Okay, Dipankar Saikya, he has 2 questions. You can also check it out in the chat box, Manish. One is, he says, thank you, sir, and the organizing team. I would like to ask you about 2 things. How to maintain our integrity throughout the process of preparation, and then how to face the Viva. Yes, that's very important, the question. Are there any tips you can really give on that?
Integrated through the preparation. So you must be constantly, concentrating in preparing for your exams. There should not be anything. Yes, of course, problems will be there. You will have some other preoccupations. You will have to attend to many other things, let's say in family, in your professional life, in every other things around. But even then, you must be motivated enough to be, focused on your preparation and never to give up in the worst of the circumstances, God forbid. But just be focused. Just that is why where lies the importance of a study group, or say a group of friends which you may have, who are equally focused, who are equally helpful to one another so far as preparations for the exams are concerned. Okay, you share your ideas, you talk, okay, you write your notes, you discuss on things, and you talk on your preparations, and you share your problems. They will also help you out sometimes. So there is nothing to lose your heart. Okay, just all that is required is just remain focused and just keep one thing in mind, that you are making your journey towards shaping your dream into reality. So there should nothing which should come and create hurdles in your journey towards your goal. And the second part was the Viva, how to face the Viva. Facing the Viva is something which will come at the end of your, the whole process of examination. And yeah, and by this time, but till you reach the Viva, you will have considerable idea about the things, about your subjects, about your say the whole process of examinations. And what is required is that in Viva, apart from answering the queries, which is important, but another very important aspect of facing the Viva is to be honest. Suppose if I ask you a question and you don't know the exact answer to the question, and you just try to convince me by telling something which is not the answer to the question. Okay, so that is something which you have to avoid. If you know the answer, it's well and good. If you don't know the answer, just simply say, sorry sir, sorry madam, I don't know the answer, that much. And for the Viva, you must be thorough with your say general studies, the subjects you have chosen for your exams, and you must have a good idea about the current affairs. Okay. Make a habit of reading newspapers, which most of people have lost this habit of reading newspapers. I mean, the aspirants. And if you can just subscribe or just get a collection of some magazines which where you can get ideas of the things that are happening in the world around, and about your place itself. Knowing your place is also very important. Say if you belong to Jorhat, if you belong to Sibsagar, if you belong to Dibrugarh or any other place, you just be sure that you know things fairly well about your place. Okay, that is also something very important.
Okay, that should satisfy Dipankar. Of course, honesty is the best policy. If we don't know, confessing that we don't know is also very important. Okay, that shows your personality also. But it's better to go prepared, I suppose. Pompey Colita has a very relevant question when she asks how to read newspaper from the very perspective of a competitive exam. I mean, ordinary reading of newspaper and reading for competitive exam. Where is the difference? Manish, that I think is a very good question.
Reading the newspaper for an exam or something with a particular aim, or reading the newspaper on a daily basis, you see, both are equally important, because say there is one thing very important. Just never miss to read the editorial part. Okay, in the editorial page, it is always I always find the editorial page to be very important and something very interesting, because it tells you, it gives you a fairly good idea about a particular issue, a particular point. Okay, and wherein you can get considerable information which is required for your knowledge, for so far as preparation for your exams are concerned. And reading the newspaper for in an ordinary manner is also very important, because there can be certain things, there can be a particular, say, event, or in sports, say in film industry, or say in literature, or in general polity, which can be very important, or say there can be some new discovery, or say there can be some archaeological excavation which has been made recently in some places. Okay, so that you don't miss that. Okay, tomorrow, say someone is being awarded with something for his performance in some particular field, say sports, literature, and just make it a point that you don't miss something which has recently happened. Okay, or say which is also important for your general knowledge.
Okay, so being systematic with the newspaper is also very important, Arisha. That's what Manish wants to say. Okay. Oh no, that was the question by Pompey. Arisha Kashyap has a question. She says, "Good afternoon, sir. How should we prepare for mains? Like whatever we study for prelims, is that enough for mains?" I think definitely it's not enough because he has already mentioned in his lecture, like study from your higher secondary books, textbooks, conceptual clarity, and then move on to higher standard books. I think that question is already answered. We can move on to the next question. Joshna Datta, she has a question where she says, "Good afternoon, sir. You have perfectly given us an idea on how to prepare for civil service. But my question to you is that what are the various challenges that you have faced after joining the service and how do you handle them?" Very tricky question, Manish. Challenges that you are facing now.
Challenges, see, there will be challenges not only in the service that I have chosen. There will be challenges everywhere. Challenges will be different in different walks of life, but it's ultimately addressing the challenge. It is ultimately reaching out to the people in need. Okay, it's not that there are problem only here, but in everywhere there will be problems, there will be challenges. But what is required is that just make yourself prepared to address the challenges. There are challenges which you cannot address, okay, but there are challenges which you can fairly address. So make it a point to address your problems, to reach out to people. Yeah, I have, during my course of career for last 3.5 years, I have I had been into certain situations where I need to reach out to people, say during flood, during emergency, during any other situation which can disturb the normal life. Okay, but all that is required is, just deliver what is entrusted upon you to the best of your capacity and with a degree of honesty.
Okay, challenges all the way. Dipankar Saika has responded back, Manish. He says, "Thank you, sir. Will there be any cross-questioning to check out our competence? I have set at the mains of 2020. Now the results are to be out soon. So apart from the knowledge part, I am apprehensive of the cross-questioning process." So what will be your response to that, cross-questioning?
Cross-questioning, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, I didn't get it. Cross-questioning. Okay.
Will there be any cross-questioning to check out our competence? I have set at the mains of 2020. Now the results are to be out soon. So apart from the knowledge part, I am apprehensive of the cross-questioning process. Dipankar, if you are there, can you just unmute yourself and clarify your question? Dipankar Saikya?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir.
Yeah, please put over your question directly.
Sir, মই এবাৰ মেইনছটো দিছো, তো ৰিজাল্টটো আউট হোৱাৰ পাছত মই বাকী নলেজ পাৰ্টটো মই ভাবিছো কভাৰ কৰি ল'ম, বাট অলপ ভয় লাগি আছে যদিহে তেওঁলোকে অলপ ক্ৰছ কুৱেশ্যনিং হওঁতে মই পাৰ্চনেলিটি চেক কৰিবলৈ বা ছাৰ্ভিচটোৰ কাৰণে যোনখিনি দৰকাৰী সেইখিনি তেওঁলোকে ৰিকুৱাৰমেণ্টছখিনিৰ কাৰণে চেক কৰিব বুলি।
মোৰ যদি ভুল হোৱা নাই, তুমি ভাইভাৰ কথা সুধিছা?
হয় ছাৰ, হয় ছাৰ।
ভাইভাৰ পাৰ্চনেলিটি চেক কৰিবৰ কাৰণে?
হয় ছাৰ।
ওকে, তোমাৰ ভাইভাত অকল মই যি ধৰণে কলো তোমাক, অকল প্ৰশ্নৰ উত্তৰ দিয়াটোৱে হেৰি নহয়, প্ৰশ্নৰ উত্তৰ দিয়াটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট, যেনেকে তুমি কেনেকে প্ৰেজেন্ট কৰিছা নিজকে সেইটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট। যেনেকে মই কলো, কিবা এটা কথা যেনিবা কিবা এটা আনচাৰ তুমি নাজানো বুলি কোৱাই ভাল। তাক কিবা প্ৰকাৰে তুমি জানা বা মই জানিছো কিন্তু মই হেৰি কৰিব পৰা নাই, সেইটোৱে মানুহৰ পাৰ্চনেলিটিটো তাতেই টেষ্ট হয়। মই কিবা এটা জানো নে নাজানো মোক সুধিলে, মই যদি নাজানো তেতিয়া যদি নাজানো বুলি কৈ দিওঁ, that reflects how honest you are in your response to someone. আৰু সেইটো ট্ৰেইট মানুহৰ it's not only in answering, it will be reflected in every step that you make in the course of your career.
Dipankar, I hope you have a satisfactory answer to that. So we have, in the meantime, the feedback link has been shared. So please, all of you, fill up the forms. Those who fill up the feedback form are going to get an e-certificate. Okay, Dipankar says he is happy with the answer. There was another question, Manish, from the same student that we started, Gautami Bonik. She asks, as we all know, mental health issues like anxiety, panic attacks, stress, etc., are relatively more because of peer pressure and societal pressure on candidates appearing for civil services. What tip would you recommend to cope up with such issues? Anxiety, mental health issues, peer pressure. So, what will be your suggestion to cope up with this kind of things?
Those will be there to some extent, but all I would suggest you is that just forget those things. Don't be very serious with what others have to say about you, and don't just keep on thinking or say putting yourself more into some thoughts which will not help you, rather it will harm you. Just stay away from those kind of say ideas or thoughts that might visit you and disturb you. Just concentrate on your preparation. Just be focused on one thing that you are going to deliver. Ultimately, it is you who is going to prepare and who is going to deliver. So there will be such kind of things from some corner to some degree, but it's better to ignore, and it's just to keep focusing on your preparation. And it's not just, we don't get so serious with your preparation. Just don't get so engrossed in your preparation that you just lose some other, say you just miss other things which you enjoyed doing at one point of time. Say if I am to give my example, I love painting things. Okay, I love drawing and fine arts. Okay, which I did in my school days a lot. And but you see, during my course of preparations also, and even now as well, whenever I get time, I spend some time in painting something, say listening to music. Okay, or say read something apart from your preparation. If you are interested in reading, say, novels and poems or whatever, if you are interested in music, if you are into sports, to some kind of sports, okay, do that. Spend some time on things which you really like. Okay, spend some time with people who really motivates you, who really will help you have some happy moments. Okay, do that.
Okay, and I also think, Manish, like one has to go through such rigorous preparation that there is hardly time for thinking about peer pressure and all that, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, so that's exactly, ma'am, you have actually summarized the whole thing.
Okay, we are coming to a close of this interactive session. I can see one question flashing up by Gagandip Kaur. She says, a very good afternoon, teachers. Is it necessary to do coaching in order to clear the civil services exam? Lot of people say that a proper guidance is important to clear such exams, and therefore they always suggest to join coaching classes. Yes, very important question, I think. What would be your response, Manish, to this? Is coaching necessary?
Yeah, I feel it's not something necessary or say mandatory, but if you feel that you are not being able to make the kind of preparation at your home because you do not have the right kind of, you are not receiving the right kind of guidance, if you are not having that right degree of say making your preparations for exams, then of course you can go and join some coaching centers, where actually what happens is that there you will get an environment for preparation, because there will be many other like you who would be there. Okay, you will get a group, you will be taught in a group, say you will have friends, you will make friends who are also into the same kind of preparation. And that's all about joining a coaching center or institute. But as such, joining a coaching institute is not something necessary. If you are content, if you feel that what I am preparing or what the kind of preparation that I am making is up to the mark and it will be sufficient for writing the exams, then of course you don't need to go. But if you feel that you are not having the right kind of environment, you are not having the right kind of preparation, or you are not being able to make the right kind of preparation, okay, then of course you can go and try some attending to some coaching institution.
Okay, so that brings us to the reply. Also, coaching is not mandatory. Manish, just one query from my side. Otherwise, from the participants, I think we are done. No one has because asked this question. I just wanted to know. General studies is a huge paper, almost everything under the sky. So just one response, how to go about the preparation in general studies. And second, like students from English literature, they are, because you come from English literature background, they are skeptical about taking it as an optional subject. Many of them feel that it's not at all scoring, and then one has to study a lot. So what will be your response to both this? One, general studies preparation, and second, if one has to opt for English literature as an optional subject.
So far as general studies is concerned, the general studies is an umbrella term, and under that it comes there all other subjects like history, geography, polity, economy, current affairs, sports, everything, it comes under that. And if we talk about general studies, say under general studies, there will be many other subjects, geography, polity, history, everything. Now, for history part, again, we'll have to study history. If we take a particular example, suppose if we are to study Indian history, so Indian history, if we are going to study, we should study Indian history from the ancient to the modern, from the Indus Valley civilization to the medieval history, then modern Indian history. So general studies, now if we say history, it doesn't mean only the modern history or history of a particular period. Okay, so the study of things that are included in general studies paper should be such that it should be exhaustive, and it should be such that we don't miss anything that comes under that particular topic under general studies. Now, if I am to suggest something, during my course of preparation, I remember there is something, there was a magazine that is
Civil Service Chronicle.
No, ma'am. That was Pratiyogita Darpan special issues.
Okay.
There were special issues of Pratiyogita Darpan. In one issue was exclusively for history, one was exclusively for geography, one was exclusively for history. Okay. So if we or if you can collect that material somewhere, then of course it will be very helpful, because in one textbook itself you will come to learn things in a very systematic and in a complete manner. And general studies is something very important, because apart from your textbooks, general studies will also require informations about current affairs, which of course it comes in different study materials, and which can be readily collected from bookstalls that are there. And so far as choosing English literature for civil service is concerned, if I am not mistaken, ma'am, you asked me whether the students feel that it is not scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not scoring. So I won't be the right person to say on that, because English literature was not there I didn't choose English literature for my optionals in my attempt, which I cleared. But I don't think so, because there are many of us who have been into the exam taking English literature as one of the optional subjects, and they have done it fairly good. And so there should not be any apprehension that, okay, this subject is not scoring, or that is more scoring. So all that is important is the preparation. So if one is comfortable in English literature, if he or she feels that I can do it well fairly by choosing English literature, then of course there is no bar, and you can go. And I feel with the dedicated efforts, you can clear the exam.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you have clarified so many doubts and queries that some of the participants who are future civil service.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure, Manish, sure.
As most of the participants and students on this platform are from JB College or had been students of JB College at one point of time, then I feel those students who are still there in college, they should not miss the college library. The JB College library is a very rich one. There are a whole lot of books into different subjects, and apart from books from academics, there are also books. There is a section of newspaper and competitive, magazines for competitive exams, and journals, which are really very helpful for making preparations. I remember during my days, going and sitting there in the library and taking down notes from those journals and monthly magazines that have been subscribed in the library. The library is a good resource, and I feel that the students out here should make it a point to visit the library, explore the resources, books and journals and magazines that are there, and just take what you require and make your preparations.
Okay, that's very interesting for people who are presently studying in JB College. That has been a wonderful suggestion to visit the library. It's very, very well stocked and informative. Okay, Manish, it has been such a wonderful session to have you with us, listening to you. And then I'm sure all our participants have greatly benefited from it. And thank you to the participants also. Of course, there is a formal vote of thanks for making it a success, for interacting, for putting across your queries and your doubts. We move to the last formality of the session, the vote of thanks. After that, we end the session. The vote of thanks will be delivered by Dr. Mosumi Gogoi, who also happened to be the joint coordinator of this program. Mosumi, the platform is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are coming to the end of the session. It's an honor for me to express my gratitude to everyone present here on this day. I, Dr. Mosumi Gogoi, on behalf of the entire organizing team, extends to the hearty vote of thanks to everyone present here, for which this program is a successful one. First of all, I would like to offer my deep sense of regards to our principal ma'am, Captain Zuri Bhuiya, for being a constant motivator and guiding force through which this program is successful. Secondly, I want to express my sincere gratitude to our honorable resource person, Manish Bharali sir, who spared precious time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion and enlighten all of us about his own experience to achieve his goal as an administrator. Really, it's very interesting. We, especially the students, learned that how they can prepare for civil service examination, and he expresses in a very simple way and students will definitely be motivated through his experiences. Thirdly, I want to express my sincere thanks to the Dr. Jolly Borthakur and head of the Department of Political Science, and Dr. Pranami Bonia, head of the Department of English, for their sincere help and cooperation. My deep sense of regards to all the participants who attended this talk program with great enthusiasm and made the event a successful one. Next, I would like to offer my thanks to Biswajit Sharma and Priyanka Bhrali for their technical support from the very beginning. Next, I would like to offer my thanks to the publishing team and the reporters for their help and support. In the end, thank you all for being with us today. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
Now I formally declare that the meeting is over.
Thank you.